Okay, let's get to it. I don't know what quantity of starter they might have mailed you on the starter from Amazon, but I doubt that it was a whole lot. So I've just whipped up a little sample here of what I think the size you might have gotten. This looks like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 ounces worth maybe. And so I'm going to show you what to do with it. I assume it wasn't refrigerated. If it was, let it get to room temperature before you do anything with it. Like if it came packed with those frozen ice packets that they put in refrigerated shipments. But anyhow, get it however it came, get it to room temperature, and then put it in a 1-quart mason jar. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so you're going to have a few ounces, I'm assuming, in the bottom of a 1-quart mason jar, and it's at room temperature. And so now you're going to add about a cup of flour. It's just white all-purpose flour, and I'm sure you'll do it a little more tidily than I did. And then you're going to add, I use distilled water. And if you, hold on one second, I've got a timer going. So we have approximately a cup of flour in now on top of our starter. And we're going to add a cup of flour weighs approximately 5 3/4 ounces. So 5 3/4 ounces of water, if you want to weigh it out, or would be appropriate approximately. Anyhow, what you're going to do is mix this up to where it has the consistency of pancake batter. And I can see I need more water. And if you get it too thin, you add a little more flour. If it's too thick, a little more water. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. It's probably more like waffle batter than pancake. It's fairly thick. Let's thin it out a little more. Okay. I don't know how well you can see that, but it kind of just barely drips off of the spoon handle that I'm stirring it with. And that looks just ideal to me. And again, this isn't rocket science, and it's not that critical. You probably don't want it too runny is the thing. So just like pancake batter or waffle batter, and you'll be fine. Okay, so now you have your mason jar, which is about 40% full of starter mixed with fresh all-purpose flour, white flour, and water. And that you're going to either put, if you're not baking bread today, which I would recommend you let your starter work through that flour for one day before you do any bread making. So I would go ahead and put it in the refrigerator and let it set in the refrigerator until you're ready to bake your first loaf of bread. Okay, now that you have your starter blended now with the fresh flour and the water, you're going to want to put a paper towel over the top and then secure it with a rubber band. At least this is how I do it. The idea is it needs to breathe a little bit. So you could, punch some holes in the mason jar top, whatever. But this is how I do it. So that's what you want to have for a finished product to put into the refrigerator until you're ready to bake some bread.